This week on
All right, stand by camera one.
Drew Barrymore, Harrison Ford, and Demi Moore. And Monday, don't miss Joaquin Phoenix. Monday on The Late Show. Now your local news.
And cure.
Liberia's president sends a message to his people he's leaving the country as peacekeepers have arrived. A new tax deadline looms for some taxpayers.
Stand
and the
by
Kansas
VR.
government uncovers an excess of state-owned vehicles. The news is next.
Roll it and take it.
I'm sitting at home.
Roll D.
It's training day for teens involved in the Civil Air Patrol. The story in our first 7 minutes. An armed robber
Stand by
strikes a
VR.
four-state gas station. And the deadly heat wave in Europe hits a new high.
Roll VR. Stand by camera one. Zoom. And cure.
Local teens get training to use in real-life rescue missions. Good
Clear.
evening,
Stand by
Emily
camera
That story
two.
tops our first 7 minutes.
And cure.
A branch of the Air Force, the Civil
Camera
Air
one
Patrol,
with a
is
two-shot.
training its
Stand by
cadets
G
for what could be
package.
life or death missions. KOM Cheryl Terrell tells us what young adults from across Kansas are gaining by participating in the search and rescue
Roll G.
exercises.
Take it. 135 standard.
These teens are
Clear.
trying to use this device to locate a plane that's gone down, but for now it's only practice. The Civil Air Patrol routinely trains cadets with search and rescue techniques. This time the cadets also had to learn how to recover a victim that may have drowned. The local commander says these kids are gaining skills that can be used their entire lives.
They learned a lot of first aid and how to do missing person search and aircraft
Clear.
search. But we are called for real missions. We've had a few of the cadets that were with us today that have actually went and crashed airplanes that they went in and searched and recovered individuals.
Civil Air Patrol conducts more than 85% of all inland search and rescue operations in the U.S., and 100 lives are saved each year. The Civil Air Patrol's missions are all funded by the U.S. Air Force, and some cadets feel this will help them in their future aspirations.
It's just an easy way to excel in life, and it just lead to career dreams, which I have wanting to go to the real military, and this will help out a great deal into the real military.
I got involved in the Civil Air Patrol because it's a fun activity to do every week.
Clear.
It's really not all that demanding, but it's a real fun to go out there every meeting and participate in
10
what they
seconds,
want to
stand
do.
by two.
And these cadets know certain skills are vital when the time comes for them to step up for the real thing. In Pittsburg, Cheryl Terrell, KOAM News.
And cure.
Cadets participating in today's exercises came from Pittsburg, Fort Scott, Emporia, Salina, Kansas City, Topeka, and Wichita.
Stand by H video.
Baxter Springs police are looking for an armed man that robbed a convenience store
Roll
and
H.
gas station last night.
Take it.
The robbery happened sometime after 8:30 last night at Cambrello's convenience store on South
Clear.
Military Avenue. A man showed a knife
Stand
to the
by
attendant
camera
and
one.
demanded money. An undetermined amount of cash was taken.
And cue him.
Clouds brought cover but no rain today. James Hazinski has our first look at the forecast, and is the rain going to ever come?
That rain is actually going to come after midnight tonight. We do have a good chance of some rain, primarily though on our Kansas side. Missouri side, a slight chance of some rain. Tonight our skylights, scattered showers and thunderstorms most of the day tomorrow. We're going up to 89 degrees, awfully cool for this time of year, and those 80s will continue through the work week. 88 on Tuesday as things begin to clear up, 86 on Wednesday, 87 on Thursday, but the 90s return by next weekend. So all the details about when the rain will come into the 4 states later on.
And stand by D.
Thanks, James.
And cure.
Well, if you think we've got it bad, it's even worse
Roll-
in Europe.
roll D.
There, a sweltering heat wave is
Camera one
melting
desk,
the
please.
Alpine glaciers and unleashing rock slides. In Britain, temperatures topped 100 degrees, turning Trafalgar Square into a swimming hole. And Portugal is literally
Stand by
burning
the wipe the
hot
G
as
video.
wildfires devastate an area the size of London. Thousands of acres have been destroyed across Europe with wildfires, and several dozen people killed in them. 40 deaths have been blamed on the heat wave, and even the Pope is asking people to
Roll
pray
G.
for rain.
Take it.
The explosive civil
Set.
unrest in Liberia may calm down soon. Liberian President Charles Taylor says
Clear.
he
We're going
will
to turn to camera
sacrifice
one for
his
this next
presidency
story,
to stop the bloodshed. Taylor recorded a farewell address today in Monrovia at his home before a Liberian flag. Outside his home, supporters, though few, still cheer him. He says he is being forced into exile into Nigeria and does hope to return.
Stand by camera one.
Peacekeepers are in the region, and an interim president is expected to be chosen by the current government, along with rebel leaders.
And cure.
Friends and families are saying thanks and a
H
fond
video.
farewell to a former mayor and his wife for their many years of dedication to the town of
Roll
Diamond.
H.
Rex Judd and his wife Velda were honored this afternoon. Rex stepped down as
Clear,
mayor of Diamond, Missouri
2.
last year after 11 years in office. Many in the community feel his contributions made the town a better place to live.
Stand by 2.
The couple spent many hours helping to improve things, including providing affordable housing for senior citizens.
And cure.
Those who received an extension to file their taxes are up against a Friday deadline, or they will face a penalty of 5% per month of the unpaid tax. About 92,000 Oklahoma taxpayers fall into the extension category. Taxpayers with special circumstances preventing filing their tax forms can ask for an additional 2-month extension by filing the proper form. Budget review teams appointed by Kansas Governor Kathleen Sebelius are finding the state owns more vehicles than it needs.
I need still ahead.
And how vehicles are purchased will change. Kansas has 130 state-owned vehicles, all 2002 or 2003 models, sitting unused in a lot in Topeka. The vehicles will eventually replace others being rotated out of the state fleet because of high mileage. A state review of the Kansas Department of Administration found 500 of its cars are underused. That's the state owns more than 8,600 vehicles, 1 for every 5 state employees.
And cure music.
That's news
Stand
and
by
weather
D.
in our first 7
Roll
minutes.
D.
Still ahead.
Take it.
Remembering a man deemed the best dancer of his era. But next,
Stand
your
by
complete
Fred.
forecast.
Roll Fred and take it.
Live from KOAM
Camera
TV.
from aboard camera 2 weather desk.
Lisa Oligas. James Hudzinski with Skywatch 7 Weather. And Richard Smith Sports. Now,
Stand
James
by
Hudzinski
2.
with Skywatch 7 Weather featuring Doppler
Start your zoom.
7000.
And cure.
Good evening, everyone. It was a hot day in some parts of the 4 states.
Clear.
On the Kansas side, it was a little cooler because of the rain. But on the Missouri side, it was quite
Grand
warm.
Lake or
outside right now, we have a beautiful full moon on tail, and luckily, it's full and it's mostly clear skies right now. But tomorrow, you may not be able to see this beautiful full moon outside right now because we're going to be under mostly cloudy skies. Let's take a look at our radar picture for you. Put it in motion for you. See those showers and thunderstorms in our western viewing area. They got quite a bit of rain actually off to the west, but in Joplin, only a trace of rain on the Missouri side. And up to the north, that's our next weather maker that's going to be coming into the 4 states.
Where's Skynet?
It's current temperature, 77 in Joplin, 75 in Fayetteville,
yes.
79 in Kansas City,
Skynet's down.
In Tulsa, and
thumbs down on Skynet.
Sky
down.
St. John's, Skynet,
it's
7.
down.
Let's take a look at St. John's.
It's dead.
Actually, let's take a look at put the radar into motion for a little wider vantage point. You see lots of rain up and down the eastern seaboard from Maine all the way down to Florida. And here in the 4 states, watch these thunderstorms blow up in Iowa, and they're heading down to the south, southwest. That's why I think primarily most of the rain will be coming in on the Kansas side. A slight chance of some rain on the Missouri side, but a better chance as the day goes on. When is that rain going to arrive? Let's put the futurecast into motion. Around 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, we'll have scattered showers and thunderstorms across the 4 states. And then as time goes on, those showers and thunderstorms might intensify. We could have some severe weather possible, but at this point in time, I don't think we're going to have any severe weather. Maybe some strong thunderstorms, some gusty winds, some small hail. But other than that, we need the rain, and we're going to get some rain. But depending on how much, it's still too early to tell. But by tomorrow, by Tuesday afternoon, that rain will be out of the 4 states. Tonight, we're dropping down to 64 degrees for your low. Increasing clouds, thunderstorms after midnight. Winds will be light and variable. Tomorrow, a little bit cooler, 89 degrees for your high. Under mostly cloudy skies, about a 50% chance of rain. East winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. But it's not going to be an all-day rain event tomorrow. So if you have any afternoon plans, I think it'll be okay. In some spots you may not be. 88 on Tuesday, a 30% chance of rain. Then things begin to clear out Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday. Check out Wednesday's low, 62 degrees, 86 for your high on Wednesday.
Stand by
then
1.
Things begin to warm up, 87 on Thursday, 89 on Friday with a good chance of rain Thursday night and also Friday night. And the 90s return by next weekend. And it looks like in the extended forecast into next work week, we could have temperatures again in the middle 90s by next week. So let's enjoy the 80s with low humidity and some rain, then the 90s return by next weekend.
Some cool nights.
Cool nights ahead.
All right, thanks, James.
And Kira, music.
The Cardinals try to
Stand by
take a
G.
series from the team with baseball's best record. And Joe
take it.
Alfieri
Stand by
tries to
VR.
pick up his first Hooters Tour victory at the Stables Classic. The Sunday Night Sports Feed starts next.
Roll it and take it.
Are you looking for a new
All right.
home? Would you like to
Made with real peaches.
Stand by 1. And he's up.
Good evening. After round 3 of the Stables Classic, leader Joe Alfieri predicted it was going to take a score of 20 under par or lower to claim
Stand by
victory.
G video.
And today he went out and provided proof of his fortune-telling abilities.
Roll G.
Alfieri
Take
2
it.
shots ahead of Jake Reeves entering the final round at Peoria Ridge. But the guy Alfieri has to watch out for is Dave Schreier. Hits the short
clear.
bird on 13 to tie for the lead.
Going to a
Reeves
board.
surpassed for second place, but does have the shot of the day. Birdie try on 16, thinks about it a while, then finally falls. He finishes 4th at -16. Alfieri would reclaim the lead. Approach shot on 17 sits down 4 feet from the cup. That's pretty. That sets up the short putt for birdie to put Alfieri back in front. He's 2 shots ahead on the way to 18. No mistakes there, and he gets that first win. And Alfieri flawless on the final hole. Only one of his threesome to find the green in 2 shots. And 2 putts later, Joe Alfieri is your Stables Classic champion. And watch this. Joe's a good guy. Even after he wins big, he doesn't forget about the little people. That's how you do it. Alfieri fulfills his prediction, finishing 21 under par. Schreier 2 shots back. Chad Collins third at -17 after a strong weekend. Some local golfers. Joplin's Robert Russell 11th at 12 under. Former PSU golfer John Troutman 8 below. And Erie native Travis Hurst finishes -7. But the story of the weekend is Alfieri victorious for the first time in 2 seasons on the tour.
Roll H. Take the bite.
And I just, stayed really patient and just kept making good swings, and that's what it was all about. And then
clear. 25 seconds, really gratifying.
Here, I've had a couple opportunities, handful of opportunities this year going into the weekend, and even the last day, and to come through today after somewhat of a strange start in the first 5 or 6 holes. Is really gratifying.
Thank you.
And the Hooters Tour will be returning to Peoria Ridge again next season. The PGA returns to Oak Hill for a major for the first time since 1989 when the PGA Championship tees off later this week. But first, they finished tuning up today at the International. Davis Love III led all 3 rounds coming in, remains your leader today. From way out, knocks down the birdie on 1. Remember, that's 2 points under this weekend's modified scoring system. Then on 17, Love bends the approach around and onto the green to set up another birdie, and DL3 claims his 3rd victory of the year by 12 points over Vijay Singh and Retief Goosen.
And he's up.
After a season spent almost exclusively making left turns, Winston Cup drivers try to become ambi-turners today, as the Cup circuit trades the simple efficiency of the oval for the ambidextrous twists and turns of the road course at Watkins Glen. 11 turns and curves for drivers to tackle at the Glen. Kyle Petty having trouble with that concept. Can't handle the right turn here, and the retaining wall pays the price. Kevin Harvick's been on fire in recent weeks. Today, he's on fire literally. Burning rubber in the pits ignites some fuel. They get it put out. Everyone is okay. And it's appropriate because today's winner is driving a car adorned with the New York Fire Department logo. Robbie Gordon wins the Sirius at the Glen, his 2nd victory of the year. And there's no doubt that Gordon is NASCAR's best ambi-turner. He wins both road races on this year's schedule. Scott Pruitt is 2nd, the best finish of his career. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jimmy Johnson, and Kevin Harvick are next in line. Joplin's Jamie McMurray finishes in 23rd.
And he's
Coming up next, we'll take you out to the big juice box as the Royals try to maintain their tenuous hold on the division lead with a little help from the Devil Rays. And will the Chiefs' off-season moves elevate the defense from putrid to, say, not completely putrid? Answers ahead when the feed continues next.
Roll it and take it. Calls about it. Tell them call one more auditorium. All right, stand by 1.
Welcome back. The AL Central teeter-totter is tilting in the Royals' direction again, and again the boys in blue have Tampa Bay to thank. Just like last weekend, the D-Rays have helped rebuild the Royals' division lead. Royals get to D-Ray starter Jorge Sosa early and often. Hopefully we can show you that.
Roll G.
Maybe. Yeah,
he changed
there we
the
go.
fucking... Dang it.
Cranks one to the warning track, scoring Mike Sweeney.
He changed
Sosa
the freaking
gives up
roll
5
cue.
runs in 1/3 of an inning, In case you're curious,
Clear.
that's an ERA of 135. And
Score revealed
no better
at
when they
H.
turn to the bullpen. Raul Ibanez singles home Carlos Fabas
That was not
for a 7-6
anything.
Royal lead. And KC survives
Sin.
a late near brawl to
Stand
win
by H.
7-3.
Roll H.
Cards and Braves rubber match
Take
of a
it.
3-game set at Busch. 5th inning, Cards try the hit and
Sin.
run. Rafael Furcal, leaping grab on Woody Williams' liner, gets
Clear.
the force at second, then tags Orlando Palmeiro. That's the 12th unassisted
Score
triple
video out
play
on
in
one.
Major League history. Birds down 2-1 in the 8th. Eddie Perez changes that. Opposite field home run ties it 2-all.
That was not
so the
the
Braves
roll
go to
cue he
baseball's
had,
best
and he just
closer.
had
John
ad-lib.
Smoltz pitching, Albert Pujols hitting. Left fielder
Oh,
Chipper
okay.
Jones just watching. Pujols' home run turns
Sin.
out to be the game winner.
Stand
His
by
hit
one.
streak now
I'll
at
let you know in a minute.
24.
Hang on.
Cards win 3-2.
Said,
As
can anyone
amazing
fix?
as
I
Kansas
don't know.
City's offense was last season, the Chiefs'
Stand by
defense
D
was
package.
equally abysmal. KOA's
prompter
Michael
died.
Hayslip was at the Chiefs' preseason game last night. He tells us about some new faces and healthy bodies who might actually help stop opposing offenses this year.
Roll D. Take it.
While Priest's home contract situation and the performance of
Clear.
first-round draft pick Larry Johnson took center stage in Kansas City's first preseason affair,
where
the
am I
first
at?
home game of the year
Alright.
gave the Chiefs faithful a look into revamp defense.
1-2 shot.
Come in this situation just to have the passion that these guys have.
I was wondering why he,
the ability to adapt.
what was going on.
They want it. I mean, these guys want to get better. They want to be
Clear.
a family. They want to do whatever it takes to win.
Defensive end Bonnie Holiday arrives in Kansas City after 5 years in Green Bay. Holiday already has more sacks, 32, in his career than any other active Chief.
I'm excited. You know, I knew coming here that it was, first of all, it's an excellent opportunity, and I'm very thankful for it. But I knew coming here that the situation is great here. It's a sweet situation. I mean, you talk about a defense. Yeah, they were down last year, and they were 32nd. They had some injuries and, you know, what have you, but the potential was there.
With the first team on the field for the first quarter, the Chiefs limited the Niners to 39 total yards and only 9
I don't know what's
on the
wrong with
ground.
it either.
Positive step, especially for where we came from
They
last
said it
year.
died,
Very
so-
talented running back
Sin.
Garrison Hurst. So we just look at it.
Clear.
And it's a positive step. You have to take it with a grain of salt too, because you know it is the preseason.
Tackle Ryan Sims is back and healthy after missing the final 10 games of last season with an elbow injury. Add veterans John Browning and Aaron
Yeah,
Hicks
we can
to
do
the
it
front
afterwards.
four,
We just have
and
to
you've got
reboot
an
the
athletic
computer.
D-line that can clog the middle
Looks like it
and
just
rush
froze
the
up.
ends.
Adding myself to that, and now you look at it, I mean, it's a pretty impressive group to look at. I mean, just physically to look at, but then to go out on the field, I mean, these guys work hard and they play hard.
Guys are playing very well. Bonnie had a number of hits on the
John's
quarterback
looking
tonight.
at it.
Ryan has had a number of hits and clogged up the middle with John Browning. So I think we're making progress.
Changes on the front line and youth in the middle might sound like a good idea to start a new year, but then there's the secondary, responsible for the majority of the big plays Kansas City gave up last season. 2003 might not be any different. 49er backup quarterback Tim Rattay went 8 of 9 in the first half, including a 39-yard touchdown strike to rookie Brandon Lloyd. If backups and rookies are already lighting up the KC secondary, how does it really expect to stop the NFL's big playmakers? At Arrowhead Stadium, Michael
step by one.
Hayslip, KOAM Sports.
And cue him.
Thanks, Slip. And that defense had better have its act together by the season opener on September 7th because San Diego comes to town with LaDainian Tomlinson, one of the best young running backs in the NFL, so they're going to get worn out if they're not up to the challenge that day.
Well, I know you say it's preseason and it doesn't count, but, you know, my father-in-law, Bob Green, said he fell asleep to it, so I guess it was not a pretty good game.
No, I think I might have fallen asleep to it also.
There we go. Well, let's do a final check on weather with James.
Temperatures in the 80s as we start the work week. 89 for your high tomorrow. Good chance of rain, about a 50% chance. And the 80s stay with us, and the 90s return by next weekend.
And they're up.
Thanks, James. Well, finally tonight, the man who tap danced his way into America's hearts has passed away. Gregory Hines died of cancer on Saturday. He was just 57 years old. CBS correspondent Tom Foti has a look back at his life in the limelight.
Roll G. Take it. 122 standard.
He was playing the role of Jelly Roll Morton,
Clear.
but no one can argue Gregory Hines could have been singing about himself. Some credit him with being the greatest tap dancer who ever lived, maybe because he performed by his own rules.
I found it difficult to smile all the time on the stage. I remember that was one of the first things I had a problem with, because, and that was something that tap acts did.
But Hines wanted to be real, no silly antics, just good tap. Hines grew up just outside Harlem, where he started taking tap lessons at the age of 3. For 20 years, he sang and danced professionally with his older brother, Maurice. Soon afterwards, Hines made it to Broadway, where he performed in the
just give me
smash hits
copyright.
Sophisticated Ladies and Jelly's Last Jam.
Close music only.
Hines and Jelly's Last Jam.
John, just give me copyright, because we're going to be running over anyway.
A household name when he started starring in movies. He danced alongside ballet great Mikhail Baryshnikov in White Nights.
And we beat the crime!
But his favorite roles were that of husband, father, and mentor.
All right, 10 seconds. Stand by.
Steps in training up new talent. And Hines never denied his greatest love.
I want to tap dance as long as I can.
Tom Foti, CBS News.
And Kim.
Well, you may have seen him recently. He was on Will and Grace on the TV show, that sitcom. And then he also got an Emmy Award. Now, you wouldn't know, you're not a parent yet, but for doing the voice of Big Bill in the cartoon Little Bill, which is a cute kids animated show. And so he made several movies as well. White Nights, which was in there. And was he Running Scared? With Billy Crystal? Didn't. Great movie. So he will be missed.
He will. Amazing.
Stand by for music.
Great dancer. All right. Well, that wraps up our news on this Sunday night. Have a great week.
And music. My VR. Roll it and take it.